So first of all, I hate this shirt. I know people say, "Oh, Goonies, that's funny." I actually hate this shirt, but it's also the only clean shirt that I have right now, which tells you how busy I am. Which leads into me saying, "Sorry for no Sunday video." The afternoon videos are going to be really hard for me to get to because of my schedule and because of how I'm feeling and a whole bunch of stuff. But I love you, and I appreciate that you guys have checked all of these videos out. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. I really appreciate it. Video tomorrow on the top 15 prospects now that the draft is over. So that'll be fun, and that's for Mile Y enthusiasts. $4.99. You guys are awesome because I've given you absolutely nothing for 2 months and you've stayed subscribed. I can't thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. And let's just get the ad read out of the way too. And it sounds like I'm callous about Simply Seattle. It's the exact opposite. I'm just excited to talk about them. Simply Seattle provides the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff for the Kraken, for the Seahawks, for the Mariners, for the Supersonics, for the Huskies, for the Cougars, for the Storm, for the Sounders. You can find it all at simplyseattle.com. Please use code MOLLYWOP15 to show you're paying attention. And to save 15% off your order, you just type that up, when you're checking out. It's a great deal from great people. Support local businesses. And I can't think of many better, if any, than simplyseattle.com. So the Brewers, good baseball team. And it was so big that you were able to take 2 of 3 against the Astros for a lot of reasons. And in part because this is a really tough test. This is a tough test. The Milwaukee Brewers have been playing as well as anyone in baseball. They are 59-40, tied with the Cubs for the division lead. They've won 10 straight baseball games, 6 of those against the Dodgers, with 3 against the Nationals in the middle and 1 win against the Marlins. They won 2 of 3 in that series against the Marlins, by the way, so I believe they've won 12 of 13. Good baseball team. Good baseball team. And let's take a look at where they rank in a few stats. Their offense is a weird one because they don't have a lot of thump. They have a .385 slugging percentage, which is 22nd in baseball, but they can hit. They get on base at a .325 clip, which is in the top 10. They have a .250 batting average, which is 13th. Not great, but certainly not abhorrent. And they've scored 473 runs. They are 7th in baseball in run scoring. You take a look at the pitching, a 3.66 ERA, which ranks 8th. They are 11th in whip at 1.24. They are 5th in batting average allowed at 232. And they are 23rd in quality starts with 28. They are a top-heavy pitching staff, but it's a tough pitching staff. And let's take a look at the matchups here. The Mariners, of course, are going to go with George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, and Luis Castillo. We're going to see Brandon Woodruff, Jacob Mizorowski on Tuesday. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Quinn Priester, who has pitched exceptionally well. It's nice that the Mariners avoid Freddie Peralta, who is their best pitcher. Brandon Woodruff's a pretty good one too, though. And Woodruff is a guy who missed a lot of time. I believe the last 2 seasons. Let's just confirm that with the help of the internet. He had pitched. Of course, I clicked on the wrong thing. Aren't these great videos, guys? Aren't I really good at this? Don't you think I should be better at this by now? He pitched 11 games in 2023, so he missed almost all of 2023, missed all of 2024, missed the first half of 2025. He's pitched in 2 games so far with a 2.61 ERA, a 18-0 strikeout to walk ratio. That's pretty good. That'll usually get the job done. 7 hits allowed, 3 earned runs. If you're curious, that is a WAR of 0.3 in just 2 starts, and he's thrown 10 in a third innings. There's not a lot of savant stuff here for Woodruff, but let's take a quick look. So I'm not going to give you a ton of the stats here because they're such a small sample size, but I will tell you this. He hasn't been lucky in those starts. Expected batting average of 189, expected ERA of 2.21. He's striking out 47.4% of the batters he's facing. That is ridiculous. He is another guy that we've talked about, kitchen sink dudes. He is a guy who throws a lot of different pitches. He throws a 4-seam fastball. Now, it's all mostly hard stuff. Four-seam fastball, sinker, cutter. He throws those 33% of the time four-seam, 26% sinker, 19% cutter. So that is what? 33 plus 26, 59. That is 78% of his pitches. I think I did the math right there. Being considered hard, right? Those are fastball adjacent pitches, and the four-seam fastball is just what it is. He's not a guy who throws particularly hard anymore. It's like 93, 92.6 is what he averages with the fastball. But there's so much spin on his offerings, and a guy who's always had good command. This was a Cy Young candidate not all that long ago. Brandon Woodruff is a tough one. So you guys suggested to me a little bit ago, and I kind of forgot about it, going over the bullpen of these teams for the first game, just kind of taking a look at what relievers make sense, or you'll probably see. There's some pretty good ones for Milwaukee. So the closer's Trevor Megill. Trevor Megill's kind of an interesting one because he's that rare closer that's an effective guy who doesn't exactly pile up the strikeouts. He has 43 in 38 games in 35 and 2/3 innings. It's not like he's immune to missing bats, but he is not the type of guy who's going to Mason Miller you or Josh Hader you, where you expect a couple of strikeouts every time he comes out. He's a guy who just initiates an awful lot of weak contact. His nickname is the Gorilla because he's kind of built like one. He's 6'8", 249 pounds. He is a very solid closer. The guy I think people should keep an eye out here for, and this is a long-term thing more than, I mean, he's good now, don't get me wrong, but Abner Uribe has a chance to be a special relief pitcher. 2.23 ERA this year, 60 strikeouts and 48 in the third innings. This guy has electric stuff, and the command is getting better and better. This year, the whip of 1.14 shows that there's just not a lot of self-inflicted damage. He is the type of guy who can give hitters absolute fits. By the way, his middle name is Brismari, which is one of my favorite middle names. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Really, really talented guy. Some of the other relievers I actually have to look up now. There's some other pretty good ones here too. That you take a look at Jared Coing, 47 appearances, 3.95 ERA, but a 39-13 strikeout to walk ratio. He's pretty solid. Nick Mears has always been kind of a personal favorite. Not the big swing and miss stuff, but he pounds to strikeouts, 33-5 strikeout to walk ratio, 2.35 ERA. Joe Piamps was a guy who they were really high on. I think he's actually out of the organization now. I was just looking at the stats, but he's been pretty much usurped. Not pretty much. He has been usurped by a few of those other guys. Grant Anderson, a guy who I think was in the Seattle Mariner organization for a little bit. I got to look that up now. Yep. Drafted by them in 2018 and has become a solid little relief option. Their bullpen's pretty good. This is not a team that you can feel confidence, a weird word to say, because you usually aren't too confident when you're losing in the late innings anyway. But these guys can get the job done. Let's take a look at the Brewers lineup. I don't think lineups are out yet. I'm recording this at 2:13 p.m., but what you usually see from Milwaukee. So one bit of good news for the Mariners is that they're not going to face Sal Frelick, a guy who was placed on the 10-day injured list, I believe Friday, could have been Saturday, but he's not available. He has been one of their best hitters, hitting 294, 404 slugging percentage, really good player. But there's a bunch of guys here who are solid. I think Jackson Chourio is going to be a superstar someday. He's not there yet. He's pretty good, but he's not a superstar just yet. 752 OPS, 16 homers. The approach at the plate needs a lot of work, but like he is the poor man's Julio right now. And some of you are going to say stupid things about that, but it is what it is. Bryce Terang is a really solid player, can absolutely fly, hitting 275, 347 on base percentage. Christian Yelich is having a solid, if a spectacular year. Their best power hitter, especially with Rhys Hoskins on the injured list right now. 259 average, 788 OPS, 19 homers. William Contreras has really disappointed this year, but it's starting to swing the bat a little bit better. 348 on base percentage works. 345 slugging percentage is way down. It's funny. The big two catchers I think everyone was drafting to start the year were Cal Raleigh and William Contreras. It's tough. It's tough. There's a Wilson Contreras, who is his brother, if you were curious. Those who pick Big Dumper over Contreras have to be thrilled right now because he just hasn't provided the same kind of fantasy upside. Isaac Collins has done a really nice job for them as of late. Guy with a 371 on base percentage, 11 stolen bases. Caleb Durbin, the guy that they got in the trade for Devin Williams, is a nice player. There's no superstar bat here. Churio has a chance to be that someday, but there's a lot of solid guys. And it's interesting. You take a look at that lineup. There's some really good left-handed hitters here. And the Mariners happen to make a roster move. They send down Juan Burgos and they call up Brandon Garcia. I think this is a great time to get Garcia in that bullpen. They need a second lefty, number one. And number two, this is a lineup that you kind of want those lefty stabilizers as well. Now, the concern with Garcia's command, and there's still control issues here. Control command, in this case, kind of the same thing, where he just doesn't always find the strike zone. And part of that is because he has so much movement on his pitches, it's difficult to command. I think this is a good test for him. And I will say this too. This is just me talking to you. Have no evidence of this. It ain't a bad time to showcase Brandon Garcia as well. Because Brandon Garcia was a starter before this year. He's still only 25. There'd be time to make that move. Pitches well in a few series. Maybe intriguing for a type of team looking for some pitching depth. Maybe intriguing, but also a chance to help the Seattle Mariners. So it's a big series. Oh, and George Kirby pitching for the Seattle Mariners. George Kirby has looked great. And I imagine George Kirby will look very good again today. But this is a tough lineup. Got a lot of guys who can make contact, right? A lot of guys who can, and there's some strikeout potential here, don't get me wrong, but there's some good hitters for average in there in these situations. And sometimes Kirby can struggle against those, but I've just been so impressed with what I've seen of Kirby from Kirby as of late that I imagine he'll have a really nice day today. I'll have an even better day if you hit like, if you hit subscribe, and if you go to Simply Seattle, please go support them. They're so good. The Cal Raleigh shirts are so great. I know I'm doing 2 ad reads for them, but they deserve it. They deserve it. And I deserve a like and a subscribe. Gosh darn it. Really appreciate it. And we will be back tomorrow, but probably not Wednesday.